In the quiet hours of the digital age, when the physical breath fades and the pulse of a life slows to stillness, a new question emerges from the shadows cast by glowing screens and endless streams of data: what becomes of our digital selves when we die? This modern enigma stretches beyond mere curiosity, reaching into the essence of identity, memory, and the soul's persistence in a world where boundaries between flesh and code blur like mist at dawn. The Internet, once a tool of connection and knowledge, now cradles fragments of our consciousness, scattering traces of who we were across servers, clouds, and social networks. In this strange realm where the living and the departed converge, the fate of the digital soul unfolds as a profound mystery, revealing both our deepest fears and hopes about mortality and immortality. Our digital presence, composed of emails, social media profiles, photographs, videos, online writings, and countless interactions, is a complex mosaic, a reflection of personality and experience encoded in zeros and ones. Unlike physical objects, these data points are not bound by decay or entropy in the conventional sense. They persist, replicated, backed up, duplicated across continents, often surviving long after the owner has ceased to exist in the corporeal world. Yet this persistence is double-edged. On one hand, it offers a semblance of immortality, a kind of echo or shadow that defies the finality of death. On the other, it raises unsettling questions about identity. If a profile remains active, if messages continue to circulate, if algorithms piece together fragments of a person's digital behavior, are we witnessing a form of digital resurrection, or a hollow simulacrum, devoid of the living essence that once animated it? Philosophically, this dilemma challenges traditional notions of the soul. Ancient wisdoms posited the soul as an immaterial, transcendent principle, an essence that journeyed beyond death into unknown realms. Yet today's digital ghosts occupy neither heaven nor earth but the vast, intangible web of human-made networks. Is this an extension of the soul's journey or a pale imitation? A ghost trapped in a machine? Some thinkers propose that our online presence is a new kind of soul, fragmented, externalized, a collective projection of memory and identity that persists as a digital spirit. Others warn of a dangerous conflation, mistaking data for consciousness, confusing programmed responses for genuine presence, and thus erasing the profound mystery that defines what it means to be truly alive. Practices surrounding digital death vary wildly, reflecting broader cultural and spiritual attitudes. Some families choose to memorialize online profiles, converting social media accounts into virtual shrines where friends and relatives gather to remember and grieve. Facebook's memorialized accounts, for example, lock profiles so they cannot be altered but remain accessible as repositories of memory. In this way, digital remains serve as new monuments, a virtual cemetery where loved ones can visit and recall shared moments. Yet, this permanence can also trap memories in amber, freezing grief and preventing the natural movement of mourning and letting go. The Internet, paradoxically, becomes both a tomb and a temple, a place of solace and a digital purgatory. Moreover, the rapid development of artificial intelligence complicates this terrain. Some entrepreneurs and technologists envision a future where AI can simulate a deceased person's personality and speech by analyzing their digital footprint. Chatbots programmed with a loved one's emails, texts, and social media posts could, in theory, carry on conversations after death, blurring the line between memory and revival. While this may offer comfort to the bereaved, it also raises profound ethical and existential questions. Does this constitute a true continuation of self, or a haunting echo, an algorithmic mimicry devoid of consciousness and soul? The idea of uploading consciousness to digital substrates or creating AI avatars challenges centuries-old definitions of life and death, identity and existence, pushing humanity toward uncharted philosophical frontiers. The persistence of digital data also affects legal and economic dimensions of death. Digital estates have become a new frontier in inheritance law and privacy debates. Questions arise about who owns and controls a deceased person's digital legacy, who may access private communications, and how to balance the deceased's wishes with the living's need to remember or move on. In some jurisdictions, laws lag behind technological realities, leaving families and companies grappling with ambiguous or conflicting policies. This liminal space between life and afterlife online underscores how intertwined our material, legal, and spiritual realities have become with the virtual realm. At a deeper level, the phenomenon of digital afterlife confronts the human longing for meaning beyond death. The internet offers a paradox: it can immortalize us, yet also reduce us to data points, fragmented memories scattered across a labyrinth of servers. It invites us to consider what truly constitutes identity and soul. Is it the sum of our actions, words, and images preserved online, or something ineffable and beyond capture? Can memory alone sustain a form of existence, or is the soul something more than remembrance and recognition? This new landscape challenges the very definition of death. No longer solely a physical cessation, death becomes a multifaceted event: the extinguishing of biological life, the persistence or erasure of digital presence, the transformation of personal legacy into data, myth, and memory. The internet, then, acts as both graveyard and archive, a place where the boundaries between life and death blur and where humanity's ancient quest for immortality takes on novel and unsettling forms. In this strange convergence of technology and soul, we stand at a crossroads. We can choose to see our digital afterlives as new forms of spiritual continuation, embracing the possibility that fragments of our essence endure in cyberspace. Or we can heed cautionary tales that warn of illusions, of reducing the profound mystery of death to mere data, and losing the sacredness of human presence. Perhaps the ultimate truth lies somewhere between, recognizing that while the internet may hold traces of us, the soul's true journey remains a mystery that no algorithm, no archive, no digital memorial can fully capture. As our lives become ever more entwined with technology, we are called to confront this question with humility, imagination, and wisdom. What we leave behind in the digital ether may reflect who we were, but the soul, the living, breathing core that animates life, transcends screens and servers, continuing its silent voyage beyond the reach of human invention.